Hey guys, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot. Serving tarot straight up. So this is going to be a weekly general overview for November 8th through the 14th, okay? Now, time is fluid, so again, this energy could certainly have already happened or it could be happening soon. So just keeping an eye out on, you know, what might happen. All right, let's pull some cards. And again, we're pretty much out of Mercury retrograde, which has been very nice because I don't know about you, but I definitely needed a break because the communication and technology has been awful. So I'm just glad that we're over with it. All right. Go ahead and put this one. All right. Perfect. Okay. So this week, and again, it's general for any sign, we got 9 of Cups in reverse. You know, if any of you have had a stroke of good luck, or let's say you've gotten a lot of sales, or you have been able to kind of boost up your financial situation, I would be very careful to let that go to your head, okay? This is not the week to become braggadocious, boast, or if you're even around that energy, just know that sometimes the quicker somebody rises, they can quickly fall just the same. So this is about kind of keeping a very low profile, even if you've had some success or wins, hit some major milestones, that's great. But I think even though there's probably some people in your life who you are just dying to say, I told you so. But I would say try to hone in that urge because it's only going to make you look like an a-hole. There's no getting around it. So, but seriously, it's going to make you look bad. And if something happens, because anything can, and I'm saying that because we got the Tower card. Look, this is sudden, abrupt change. So it could unfortunately mean loss of a job. It could mean a change in position, an adjustment in salary. Now, it could mean something good too. So certainly it's not always negative. But it's a sudden change, and it's because the Tower card comes in when we've been ignoring signs and synchronicities and our gut intuition, and the universe is trying to redirect us and we keep ignoring it and we choose free will. Well, the Tower comes in and then pretty much breaks down all of those walls and kind of that fake foundation that we created that wasn't really sustainable for the long term anyway. And it allows you, the positive on that is it allows you to rebuild and move forward with a lot more confidence, reassurance, and building something more stable for the long term. However, a lot of times when the Tower card comes out, people don't see the blessing right away. It's just abrupt, sudden, and it's frustrating and even downright overwhelming. So just because whether this is you or someone else who has risen very quickly and they might be a little bit cocky or egotistic or bragging about those types of things, be careful because you just never know when things can come all falling down. So I would just keep that in mind if that is you. And if it's not you, you know what? It's not to turn the tables and say, I told you so. This is about just, that's a lesson that person needs to learn, okay? Now, what I will tell you is that this is the time with the King of Swords. This is all about intellect and intuition and research and really diving deep on bettering yourself, educating yourself. Let's say this is you, that you put maybe all of your money in the stock market. And I'm just using this as a high-level example. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is just an example. And you really gained a lot of momentum, and then you kind of doubled down, or you put more into a stock or a company, and then it kind of just came crashing down. And this is, in a way, a good lesson for you to understand that you need to educate yourself consistently. And it's also about, sometimes you have to detach the emotion from a situation, especially when it comes down to money. sometimes the best decisions that you make are when you separate the emotion. At least I find that for myself. And I am an Aquarius sun sign, so it's a little bit easier for me. But what I would say is that if you really want to take this, you know, kind of higher level perspective, you do need to look at the facts, the data, and not so much put so much emotion into it, okay? Four of Pentacles. Now, I'm going to say that if you are dragging your feet because you don't want to make these changes, whether it's, you know, reskilling yourself, getting more education, and I'm not talking about even in the traditional sense, even though that could be for some of you the case, but whether you're doing online courses or you're finding ebooks or you're listening to Audible recordings or you're going on YouTube and finding, you know, creators or people who have been very successful and you're taking their advice or classes, whatever the case is, if you're still digging your heels and not wanting to do those types of things, you're only doing a disservice. And now I'm not saying that you need to jump at everything that comes your way because it's flashy and it looks cool. Be very careful at get rich schemes, you know, especially now. But this would definitely be to don't be so stubborn and don't think that you know it all and that you're not being open to possibilities and letting the energy come to you. So the Four of Pentacles is when you kind of close yourself off. Nothing is really coming in or out. So be careful of that if you're starting to notice you're doing that. I think if you guys are going through this situation, I have to say that I think in the long run, you're going to understand what are the more important things in life with the Ace of Cups. This is about being, you know, fulfilled and happy because you are in a better place because you've really gone through a pretty significant journey. The Ace of Cups is also doing something that you genuinely love to do. I think for a lot of you, and this energy has been pretty consistent for a lot of the zodiac signs, that for some, you know, corporate America or traditional way of quote unquote working 9 to 5 is really just not in their heart. You know, it's not really what they want to end up doing. So they're taking measures now, they're taking those steps to get themselves to the place they want to. Okay. So again, don't hold yourself back because in the end, you know, you might really align to something that you love to do and it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a chore. Let's see what's going on with overall. Way too many cards flipped out. Sorry about that. Let's do overall with money, career, and love. And let's just see what's going on for this next week. Okay. Yep. I think with career, a lot of you with this Queen of Cups, it's just your heart isn't into whatever you're doing. Maybe you are a business owner and what you started is just not really, you know, what is made you happy in the long run, or you feel like maybe you've made some wrong decisions, which you haven't. You know, you're always going to realign back. And again, you're going to realign, especially if this Tower card's coming out. It's going to force you on the path that you need to be on. But ultimately, you want to do something that you love and it doesn't feel like work. So the Queen of Cups is all about getting that fulfillment back in your life. Money, again, I think for a lot of you, this has been quite, whether it's a lesson that you've had to learn and you've lost quite a bit, or it's been a hard learned lesson. 9 of Wands is not giving up on yourself. Don't give up. This is the Wounded Warrior card. And 9 is almost at completion. So keep going because you never know what's going to, you know, happen at that new beginning. Remember, anytime you have an ending, you have a new beginning. So keep at it. Don't give up. Take a step back and have some humility and understand that you're always going to be the student, okay? No matter what, and you should. And so when the student is ready, the teacher appears, that kind of mentality. So, you know, do what you have to do to make yourself better. Don't think that you know it all. And a lot of times we're all guilty of doing that. Sometimes when we've hit a couple milestones, we think that we're hot shit. And ultimately, you know, we can learn more, right? For love, you know, for this week, I don't see love as a huge priority for a lot of you. If you're single and you've been dating, or, you know, I don't think this is a relationship that's really taking off. It feels very hot and cold. It would stop and then start. But I think too that your focus is elsewhere. If you're single and not seeing anyone, I don't see that you're interested in really opening that up. It's not top priority. Couples, again, I do feel like there might be some loss of passion in the relationship, or you guys are getting into kind of a boring routine. You might want to spice it up. You know, the Ace of Wands is about doing something fresh, doing something exciting, be a little adventurous. And I know that's hard because we're in a pandemic, but you know, I mean, you can do things that are low cost and, you know, that don't put your health at risk, and still do something, you know, fun and exciting and kind of, you know, out of the ordinary. Also, again, this is being consistent in your relationship and not, you know, it's not about being, you know, hot and cold and hot and cold. It's about kind of keeping this like, you know, warm type of feeling all the time. It's consistent. Let's pull a card from the Threads of Fate deck, and I absolutely love this deck. It's so gorgeous. Okay, so the shadow card came out, and I hope you guys can see it. It's this beautiful bat, and it's this rose gold foil, so it reflects. The shadow, you know, side is a lot of people, I think, you know, everyone has quote unquote light and shadow, light and dark, and it's not about good or bad. It's not about that at all. We both have those characteristics or energies within us that make us us, right? So again, this is number one. If you haven't gone through some of that deep shadow work that you really do need to, now's the time. Don't put it off. You're going to regret doing that. But two, if you have been going through your shadow work and kind of working on self and self-reflection and all those things, fantastic. But also keep in mind that this is never truly ever done or completed. You're always going to evolve, meaning that you're always going to have to work on something, okay? We're human. So you're never fully, completely evolved in that sense. You know, when people say that they're awoke, I would say it's probably incorrect. You're always awakening, okay? You're always become more awakened. So anyway, guys, that is your energy, you know, for this week. So, you know, keep at it, stay grounded, and again, you know, be humble. I feel like this week is one of those times where we really need to kind of, you know, just, it is what it is, and we don't have to talk about our wins. You know, sometimes the best things are kept quiet, okay? So, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so you can see more videos. And then also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. If you're interested in a reading, go to my website. All the details are there. And then I also am doing blogs, I'm doing a blog on my website, affirmations and just other details. So head over there as well and for more details. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon.